Oh, it's already this late. Thank you for always listening to me. It's because of your company, Takachiho-san, that we've been able to get so many customers.
No, thank you. Please feel free to talk to me anytime. I've met so many people today and heard so many stories. Sales is the best job. I'm Ryo Takachiho, 29 years old. I work for an IT venture company that operates a popular coupon site. Although door-to-door sales is generally considered a tough job, it's the perfect environment for me right now. Because, after all, real-life stories are great material for my writing. My dream is to become a novelist, and I want to depict life stories full of human emotions, both gritty and beautiful. Of course, I don't just directly use each story, but focus on the emotions and thought processes leading up to them. I would be completely happy if I could win an award in the contest. I've applied to many publishers, but I haven't debuted yet. But I believe these everyday experiences will one day pay off, so I continue with this job. Takachiho, I've submitted the new contract report for you since you're so slow. I had just returned to the office when Shoichi, my senior, who is 3 years ahead of me and the CEO's son, spoke to me. Thank you, but I'll handle my own work, so please focus on your tasks, Shoichi. What a cheeky guy. You should be grateful that I, the CEO's son, am helping you out. What help? You always change the name of the responsible person to yours and take all the credit for it. Shoichi, taking advantage of his position, has been spreading the word that contracts I or other employees secured are his achievements. The CEO pampers Shoichi, recognizing his son's accomplishments, and the other employees are frustrated, but can't say anything. Well, ironically, this experience has been useful for my writing. When I vent my frustration towards Shoichi and the CEO into my writing, my pen flows naturally. And by turning negative emotions into energy, I feel like my expressive power has expanded. So, I consider the environment here, both inside and outside the company, as great for gathering material for my writing. One day, as I was about to head to a client's office, Shoichi stopped me with a smug smile. Hey Takachiho, today's presentation would be risky with just you, so I'll go with you. The client we're visiting today is LK News, a major news site. I've done all the preliminary negotiations alone to make this partnership happen. If this succeeds, our company's website's traffic will definitely increase, and it will be a major achievement. No, I'm fine alone. I've been negotiating with them by myself up until now. Huh? Don't talk back. This is a direct order from the CEO. It's probably a lie, but Shoichi will likely report it as if it were his idea anyway. I know he's trying to steal my credit, but I don't have time to argue now. Alright, let's go together. He definitely wants the contract, so he won't try to sabotage me in the negotiation. I'll let him tag along. I decided to go with Shoichi since time was running out. When we got near the client's office, we found an elderly man in traditional clothing, gasping for breath. Are you alright? I quickly ran to him and kneeled down. Shall I call an ambulance? No, the medicine. It's in my bag. The medicine, right? I'll open your bag. Hey, what are you doing? We don't have time for this. We're late for the presentation at LK News. I can't just leave someone in distress. Call them or let them know we'll be a little late. What? Are you stupid? Being late is unacceptable. I'll go alone. You help the old man. Fine. Do as you wish. The fool who is too kind. I'll take the credit again. The old man starts to recover, and his color begins to return. Thank you. You saved me. I'm glad to hear that. But should we go to the hospital just to be safe? I accompanied the old man to his regular hospital in a taxi. On the way, the man wanted to thank me and asked for my business card. Although I initially refused, I ended up giving the man my card after he insisted. After dropping the man off at the hospital, I called the client, explained, and apologized. Shoichi handles the excuse well, as expected. He's good at looking good when it comes to claiming credit. Although Shoichi's presentation wasn't anything special, the materials were praised, and the client seemed positive about proceeding with the contract. If we secure this deal, it'll be thanks to the excellence of my presentation. Shoichi had nothing to do with the preparation of the materials, but he's determined to take the credit. I, suppressing my anger, calmly countered Shoichi's boastful attitude. Don't you care whether that man is okay? That old man? Why would I care? You abandoned your work this time. You're unfit for the job. What do you mean, old man? What do you think human life is? I left the presentation to you, but I'm still continuing as the lead on this. This is the project I've been nurturing. I forced myself to stay calm and argue back, but he just smiled smugly. A bad feeling starts to creep in as the CEO arrives in the office. Hey Shoichi, you've done great work! Thank you, Dad. Well, it's only natural for me to get these results. Meanwhile, Takachiho-kun, despite your work up until now, what's with you just leaving everything to others at the last minute? Leave everything? Human life was at stake. Anyway, you'll be reassigned from this case. I'm giving it to my son. Once again, I was robbed of the credit by Shoichi. Well, this experience will definitely be useful for my novel. I try to convince myself as I continue working, and one day, I head to the reception area for a meeting with a client, when suddenly I'm greeted by a familiar face. Thank you again for your help the other day. I'm feeling much better now. The man I helped and a young woman are there. They came all the way here using the business card I gave him.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the delay in expressing my gratitude.
The woman introduces herself as Yurina Miyakonojo, the man's granddaughter. It's nothing. I was just doing what anyone would do. I'm glad you're feeling better. No, it was a big deal for me.
My grandfather is currently writing a retirement memoir novel, and he almost disappointed all of his fans.
What? A retirement memoir novel? No way!
Could it be that you knew? My grandfather is Shigenare Miyakonojo. He's a novelist writing under his real name.
What? Shigenari Miyakonojo himself? I'm such a big fan! I'm amazed! I'm glad to know I have such young fans. I don't appear in the media, so very few people know my face. I had no idea you were such a renowned author. I read your serialized work every week, and I really enjoy it.
Thank you. Thanks to that, I'll be able to continue my serialized work without any issues.
By the way, Takachiho-kun, there's something I would like to ask you. The atmosphere changes as Shigenari's expression becomes serious. Although my body is starting to give away, my hearing hasn't diminished. When you helped me the other day, you had a companion with you. I remember hearing your companion say, "I'll take the credit." What did that mean? I've been curious about that. Well, he's the son of the CEO of this company, so he tends to act on his own quite a lot. I see. I guess it's not good to talk too much to outsiders, huh? I try to keep it vague, but Shigenari seems to have picked up on something. He then looks at Yurina and whispers something in her ear. No, it's about us. Thank you for sharing that, Takachiho-kun.
There may be some changes in your company going forward, but please don't feel responsible for it.
What does that mean? I ask, but both of them just smile knowingly. Maybe ignorance is bliss after all.
By the way, Takachiho-kun, could you spare some time later? I feel like I've known you for a long time.
Really? I'm afraid I don't recall. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I'll check on it myself.
It's a bit of an unsatisfactory conversation, but we left it there for the day. At that moment, in the CEO's office, a secretive conversation was unfolding. Shoichi, don't overdo it. Leave it to me, Dad. I'm sure the bill for Ginza's charges is piling up, right? Yeah, but I'm sure you're in the same boat, huh? Don't worry, the world's full of naive fools. Everything's fine. A few days passed, and strange rumors started spreading around the office.
Someone was approached by a recruiter outside the office, asking about their treatment and other details. Really? Me too. A colleague from the sales department and a senior from the general affairs department were also approached. Same recruiter, probably. What's this? Everyone's being approached? I was hoping to get headhunted. Something strange, right? They didn't even give us their business cards. But honestly, with the CEO's son running things, I wouldn't mind leaving the company if I could find a better job.
A few days later, I was invited by Yurina to a cafe on my day off.
Sorry for troubling you on your day off.
No, it's fine. But what did you want to talk about?
I've remembered why I felt like I knew you, Takachiho-san. I've read your novel before.
Huh? But I haven't even been published yet.
Actually, I work as a book editor at Love Koi Publishing. I'm also a first-round judge for our company's novel contest. And that's how your name stayed in my memory.
What? You're a judge? I didn't know that. But I can't believe you remember my work. I did apply to the Love Koi contest, but I thought there must be so many submissions, so I didn't expect to stand out.
It was because your novel was so striking. The way you captured the depth of human emotions and the subtle nuances of the characters. I was really impressed. I always wondered what kind of person could write something like that. Unfortunately, your work didn't make it past the second round of the contest. But personally, I still think it should have been published.
That's very humbling.
I want you to keep writing, no matter what happens in the future. That's why I wanted to express my support for you today.
It means a lot. Thank you so much. It would be a lie to say I wasn't embarrassed, but more than that, I felt like everything up to this point had finally paid off.
Also, I have a suggestion for your future, Takachiho-san. Would you consider resigning from your current job?
Huh?
I can't explain it in detail right now.
After hearing what Yurina said, I opened my eyes wide, but understood and decided to accept the offer, as I didn't feel any loyalty to the company. Soon after, I submitted my resignation. I hadn't been spending money on anything other than writing, so I had enough savings to get by until I found a new job. Our company was about to see a huge boost in performance due to the LK News project, but you made a foolish decision, huh? Well, if someone doesn't have foresight, it's no surprise they leave the company. It's better that way, isn't it? Despite the CEO and Shoichi's final insults. Dad, this is bad. LK News just contacted us. They want to cancel the partnership. What? A few days after I resigned, the situation changed completely. I don't understand why. We were so close to finalizing everything. Damn it, I'm going to go and ask them directly. Shoichi immediately storms over to LK News. But when he arrives, it was not the person he expected. Oh, you are... Oh, have you already forgotten? I'm the old man you abandoned the other day.
You were quite rude to my grandfather, weren't you?
Shigenari and Yurina smile coldly at Shoichi. He probably didn't fully understand the situation, so it seemed that Shoichi had realized that they were somehow connected to LK News. He hurriedly bowed his head to Shigenari and Yurina. "I'm really sorry for my rude behavior the other day, but why are you two here?"
"I'm Shigenari Miyakonojo, a novelist. My granddaughter works at Lovekoi Publishing. Now that I've said that, you should understand why we are here."
Actually, LK News is a subsidiary of Lovekoi Publishing, and Shigenari is a major shareholder of LK News. Together, Shigenari and Lovekoi Publishing own more than half of the shares.
"The other day, you mentioned LK News. When I looked into it further, I found out that LK News and your company were in negotiations."
So, we informed the people at LK News through Lovekoi Publishing about the facts as they were.
But just because you're major shareholders doesn't mean you can do whatever you want with the company, right?
"Are you saying we're privatizing this company?"
That's exactly what you're doing, isn't it? We were about to finalize the partnership deal. The deal with LK News would have been highly beneficial to them too. Yet, you've come barging in and ruined everything.
"Don't you get it? The reason LK News won't sign with your company is because of employees like you. You abandoned someone in need, berated your subordinates, and stole their achievements. I've done some digging. I've looked into your work and your father, the CEO. As a result, I simply don't believe that your company can walk the same path as LK News."
LK News is at the forefront of preserving literary culture. The world of novels and magazines has been declining, and print media is dying. I don't want to involve your company in something that important.
Realizing that the contract can't be revived, Shoichi glares at Shigenari and Yurina with an angry expression, while Shigenari and Yurina remain calm. "Don't mess with me! We've already made an advance investment in new businesses in anticipation of this deal. This whole thing was based on the deal being finalized. How are you going to take responsibility for this?"
Your rash advance investment is none of our responsibility.
I've spoken to the people at LK News. They said that after your charge of responsibilities, the deal becomes less likely. With or without us, the deal would have fallen through eventually.
Damn it! How can you say that? I'll consult with my father, and I'll get revenge for this.
How are you going to get revenge? You haven't even finalized the contract, and there wasn't even a verbal agreement. I'm curious to see how you plan to get your revenge.
Though I'm not sure if you have the strength left to do anything.
What? You're talking nonsense. Just wait. With that, Shoichi storms out of the meeting room. Soon after, Shoichi's and his father's company's financial situation took a turn for the worse. It was all due to their reckless advance investment based on the potential LK News deal. And their suffering didn't end there. This is bad! Dad!
What now?
Look at this! In his hand is a weekly magazine published by Lovekoi Publishing. The headline reads, "The Dark Side of a Popular Coupon Site Company." Yurina had tipped off a colleague in the weekly magazine editorial department, and a reporter had thoroughly investigated the article. It turns out the recruiter who had approached the employees was a reporter from Lovekoi Publishing. It was written that I had been engaging in power harassment, using my position as the CEO's son to steal my subordinates' contracts. And furthermore,
funds from contracts were deposited into personal accounts for embezzlement and used for drinking expenses in Ginza. Even the CEO, his father, silently approved of this. The embezzlement was led by him? What does this mean? How did it get out?
Yes, Shoichi and his father had been embezzling money for personal use. I didn't know everything, but Yurina had informed me that the company was sinking. which is why I had resigned before getting caught up in this mess. Before I left, I had informed the employees who were resentful of Shoichi and his father about this. Of course, I made sure to be careful not to violate any laws. So now, the only people left in the company are those still benefiting from the nepotism of Shoichi and his father. Soon, the company was in complete turmoil.
Excuse me, this is Geretsu News. Can we have a quick comment?
Kiddo TV here. Are you planning to run away? Please hold a press conference.
Oh! Shoichi and his father, standing while getting bombarded by camera flashes, have nowhere to escape.
So,
Could you tell us what's going on? Please be clear.
They stammer and fail to make excuses, continuing to be attacked by the press. In the end, they just made things worse for themselves. Naturally, the bank pulled out, and Shoichi and his father were completely cornered. They were arrested for embezzlement, along with the employees who had supported them.
damn it! How did this happen?
Those old fool and the granddaughter! They shouldn't have interfered! At this point, blaming someone else is out of the question. This is all the result of their own actions. In the end, the company went bankrupt without a CEO. Meanwhile, I had found a new job and was continuing my writing activities. Thank you for helping me back then. If I hadn't resigned, I might have gotten caught up in something terrible.
No, it was only natural since you helped my grandfather. Also, as the first fan who fell in love with your talent, I wanted to help you. Well, when I say fell in love, I mean with your talent, not in a weird way.
Yurina suddenly blushes and looks down, while I smile and hold her hand. I'll definitely win a newcomer award with my next work and debut. When that happens, will you go out with me?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
There were times when I almost gave up because I wasn't seeing results, but I kept going, believing that someday, someone would recognize my efforts. Just like those two, who I met through a strange twist of fate.
Now, Ryokun, will your next novel be based on your married life?
Grandpa, hold on. Yo and I just started dating, so that's a little too soon to talk about.
After that, I made my debut as a novelist, and a few years later, my name became widely known. And the surprise came even later, when people found out I was married to the granddaughter of Shigenari Miyakonojo.
Huh? Aren't you the clueless idiot who confessed to me?
Long time no see, Mita.
Want to switch assignments? If I push a little, I could probably...
What a fine morning it is once again, Sakurada. I bought too many of the popular croissants from the neighborhood, so I'm sharing the bounty. It's currently 9:45 a.m. The scene playing out before work begins is a daily occurrence here. My name is Shotaro Sakurada. I've been working in the newly established web production division at Actuary Matomo Inc. for the past 3 years. I'm a 25-year-old web designer. Are you both sure? Thanks. No, thank you as always.
Sakurada-kun, you're always helping me out, so if you ever need anything, just let me know. I'll help too.
Still the popular one, aren't you, Sakurada?
Ah, Director Hosho. Good morning. The one who called out to me was my direct supervisor, web director Ryuki Hosho. She's said to be 170 centimeters tall and lives up to her name with a tall, elegant beauty. She's so admired that even the sales division has fans of her. What a blessing to the eyes she is. Wow, so pretty. I've always had a soft spot for beautiful things. There wasn't a specific reason. I just liked them before I even realized it. It's probably some kind of DNA thing. Though, thinking back, I do get super embarrassed by some of those moments.
Hey, Sakurada, about today, if it's okay, would...
Morning. Ah, good morning, sir. That's when it hit 10 a.m. and the department head showed up. He's Reiya Yamato, the manager who moved our web production division when it was launched. He was originally an engineer, but the president wanted a sales rep with technology when the company was founded, so he was more or less forced into sales. And somehow, he just ended up becoming a manager. His words, not mine. Sorry, Director Hoshio. What was it about today?
No, it's nothing. Look, the morning meeting's starting.
Yeah, she really is beautiful. Hang in there, Director Hoshio. Same old schedule being read out. Same old eye candy viewing. I thought today will be another one of those same old days, but that will all change this afternoon.
Huh? Aren't you the clueless idiot who confessed to me?
Long time no see, Mita. The client I had a meeting with turned out to be a former classmate who once laughed at my confession. That was back in my first year of high school. Mita's really gorgeous today too. She was a top tier girl in our grade, a member of the dance club known for its cute elite members. That was Aiba Mita. We actually talked a lot, even hung out sometimes, but I was clearly not on her radar. Still, maybe if I confessed, she'd start to see me in that light? Okay.
What? Why so formal? I've got club practice.
Figured it was now or never, so I caught her out after school that day. Sorry, I won't take up much time. So, I like you, Mita. I know you don't see me that way, but if you could just start to think about me even a little.
Wait, are you serious right now?
Did I say something funny?
Oh, it's hilarious! I mean, I had a feeling when you called me out, but it's you!
Sorry, but why is it so unthinkable that I confessed to you?
Because... you're just a nice, goofy mood maker. You can play sports, sure, but your grades are meh. Your face is average.
She counted off all the reasons I was impossible, and when all her fingers were up, she scoffed and said,
Basically, you're just way out of your league. There's a difference between brave and foolish. Try not to be such a clown.
And just like that, I was rejected. The next day she told everyone, and I became the class joke. Luckily or unluckily, I had a goofy character persona, so I turned it into a gag and moved on quickly. But yeah, even for me, that one stung a little. It was one of my Black History moments. The day I learned that beautiful roses have thorns. Run into someone like that in a work meeting? What is it? A love comedy manga? Oh wait, I guess this is a love comedy manga.
So you two know each other, but this is work, so let's stay professional.
The one who instantly picked up on the situation from our exchange was our company's sales rep, assistant manager Sayonji. She's apparently the only daughter of the main branch of the old money Sayonji family, an absurd rich young lady. Why someone like her ended up in the flashy startup sales division like ours is beyond me. Alright, since time is limited, let's jump straight into it. First, the number of pages in the contract. Once we switched into work mode, she acted completely professional. I let out a sigh of relief. So, based on that, I've brought a few design proposals.
Understood. We'll take these back to the office and discuss internally.
Of course. Next, regarding the SEO strategy. 2 hours later, after parting ways with Sayonji, I found myself sighing like crazy back at the office. The meeting ended without issue, but I have to see her again. I can't help but think things only went smoothly because Sayonji was there. I've been working on those for years, so I want to believe that's not the case. But doubts creeps in.
That's quite a sigh.
Ah, Director Hosho, I'm back.
Welcome back. I'd like to report on the meeting ASAP, but it's rare to hear you sigh like that. Did something go wrong?
I hadn't planned on letting that sigh split out, but I'd let my guard down in the hallway. Still, I'd never skip out on reporting to my team. Actually,
Right. That's the situation. Sounds like things might get complicated.
after I laid everything out, including the past, Director Hosho paused for 3 seconds before responding.
Want to switch assignments? If I push a little, I could probably...
No, switching for such a personal reason would be inappropriate. Sure, I was hurt back then, and I'd be lying if I said I felt nothing now, but... That's exactly why I want to face it head on this time.
Huh?
I hate running away. If there's a wall in front of me, I say bring it on. Actually, it makes me feel fired up. And of course, I'll pull this off regardless of the personal stuff. It's our first big name client after all. Yeah, this was our first contract with a major company. And if we pulled it off, we were set to receive further ongoing contracts too. In that sense, it was a high stakes, high reward kind of project.
Okay. If you're that determined, I'll leave it to you. But... if it gets too much, promise you'll speak up right away. The contract is important, but so is your well-being. I'm on your side, okay?
Woo! Director Hosho, you've got this!
You're so cute today, too. Good luck!
Yes, thank you so much.
Did she just sort of notice me?
Her hands were so warm when she grabbed mine. After promising to keep her updated, my earlier gloom had vanished, replaced with a fresh burst of energy as I headed back to my desk. Director Hosho really is a great boss. If I were me, I'd totally think she was in love with me. Alright, time to get fired up.
Yeah, no way he realized anything.
And then 2 weeks later, I'm heading out for the day. There I was, completely wiped. I'd been naive. There was no way working with Mita would go smoothly.
Good work. Make sure you rest properly over the weekend, Sakurada.
Got it. I think a friend's visiting, so maybe I have them cook for once. Wait, did I even say that out loud? In these 2 weeks, Mita had totally run me ragged. For example,
Hey, so about the design, I want to change it again.
she'd already requested 2 changes to finalize designs.
Email? Oh, I haven't checked it yet. I was busy yesterday. Just do whatever there.
Says it's up to me, but the complaints later. 2 weeks of this, and now...
Wouldn't this look way better with the video? I mean, we're the client. That much service is expected, right?
She dropped a request on me today. If you want a video, there's gonna be additional charges. That's not a freebie. When I told her that, I had to sit through a whole hours of whining. She even brought up high school. What a waste of time. But, well, it ends today. Realizing it wasn't sustainable, I filed a complaint. Her boss immediately came to apologize. So, instead of me being replaced, she was removed from the project. Kinda anticlimactic, honestly. But I was being way too optimistic. Again, 2 months after that, work had been going smoothly, with just a month to go before the deadline. On weekends, I cooked with my childhood friend. Life was good. Until I started receiving creepy, anonymous letters. This was the third. It started with 1 strange email a month ago. After 2, it switched to paper letters with disturbing content arriving weekly. What's it say this time? At this point, I'm more curious than scared. Ow! Huh? The pain made me drop the letter. I looked at my finger. Blood was flowing. Was there, like, a razor blade inside? I thought stuff like this only happened in fiction. Can't believe it's real. Yeah, this is police level now. It's past 6 p.m. today, so I'll take half a day off tomorrow. And I should probably report this to the company too. I just hope Mita isn't behind this. I pick up the letter cautiously. Then came Monday. The police had advised filing a disclosure request, so I headed in during the afternoon and got hit with a bombshell. Huh? They're not renewing the contract. Why? Director Hosho told me this project would be our last with Mita's company.
Why? Because I filed a complaint. Because we don't do business with companies that have employees who send threatening messages to ours.
Huh? We heard about it. Sakurada, you are being harassed.
Threats? Unforgivable. We absolutely reject anyone like that.
Wait, hold on. I'm not following any of this. How do you all know about the threats? Did you figure out who sent them? When did you even start investigating?
Calm down. I'll give you the short version. Yes, we identified the sender. The IP address traced back to that company.
This happened last week. Turns out we had the IP address already. So Director Hosho and Manager Yamato personally visited the client.
Thank you for seeing us today. We understand Sakurada won't be attending. Is there a problem we should be aware of?
By the way, this woman was assigned as Mita's replacement.
Thank you for making time for us despite your busy schedule. As you said, there's been a slight issue. Actually, Sakurada has been receiving threatening messages.
What? I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Is he alright?
Yes, thankfully, but just to be safe, he won't be joining us today. If anything were to happen to him, it'd be a serious problem.
What exactly is going on here?
Well, you see, Hosho.
So, these are the threatening emails sent to our employee Sakurada, along with the results of our investigation.
The woman in charge glanced nervously at the documents handed to her by Director Hosho. Then, her eyes opened wide in shock.
This is... Yes. The threats to Sakurada were sent from one of your company computers. Judging by the location, appears to be the branch office. We sincerely apologize. We'll launch an internal investigation immediately.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Depending on response, we were prepared to request disclosure and notify the police. After all, it wasn't just emails. Frighteningly, he's been receiving letters now as well. That was too much, so we decided to come here today. To be honest, we wanted to take action immediately. But since we've been doing business with your company, we hope we could resolve it amicably. We truly appreciate your prompt cooperation.
In other words, what they really meant was, we'd love to report this and punish the culprit immediately. But since we're currently working together, a public scandal will hurt both sides. You probably don't want your own employee facing police charges either. So before that happens, track down the perpetrator on your side and deal with it internally.
Also, you mentioned that if this project went well, you'd consider giving us another job. Let's consider the offer off the table. We hope to see appropriate action taken. Our company has no issue with losing a client if it means protecting our reputation.
And just like that, the other company rushed their internal investigation and identified the culprit. This all happened last week, entirely without my knowledge. There are still a few things I don't quite understand, but I get the flow now. From IP identification to suspect confirmation. So, who was it?
Probably the person you were expecting. It was Aiba Mita. She's rotten to the core.
Thought so. I was hoping it wasn't her, but I can't say I'm surprised. More importantly, how did you get the IP in the first place? I haven't requested a disclosure yet, right? And I thought only the person involved could do that.
Yes, though if you have a power of attorney, it's possible, but normally no. But if you can create a trap link, you can get the IP address. Since the IP belonged to the other company, we had them check their logs, and it turned out to be from Iba Mita's computer.
So basically someone replied to the threatening email I received, embedded a trap link, and tricked Mita into clicking it, successfully obtaining her IP address. That IP turned out to belong to our client's network. Then they were able to trace it to her specific machine and identify her as the sender. Okay, I get how you identified her. Since she's known my email since high school, it's possible she used that. But to do all that, someone had to access my personal phone, create the trap link, and send it.
Exactly. Which means, unfortunately, I wasn't the one who found her. I was only informed of the results afterward.
Director Hosho said that with a hint of frustration. At that moment, someone walked back into the office. No way. Ranya! You went through my phone, didn't you? The person I yelled at was Yamato, our department head. He blinked at me blankly as I confronted him. Yeah? Come on! I told you not to go through my stuff!
And I told you to stop using such obvious passwords if you don't want people poking around. You always use someone's birthday, at least put a little more effort into it.
You two really are close, huh?
Right. The truth is, Yamato is a friend of mine 7 years older. He's the one who comes over every weekend to beg for home-cooked meals. Well, yeah. Actually, look, even if my password was too easy, I still have a right to privacy, you know?
Why? You look suspicious, so I checked, saw the threat, set a trap. Then found the letters at your place too, so I followed up. As your manager, protecting my team is the bare minimum.
Well, I guess when you put it like that.
Don't let him fool you, Sakurada. Even a friend or manager shouldn't be going through your personal phone. But he's so cute when he's like this.
And besides, you think I just sit back and do nothing when someone messes my little brother figure?
Damn, he's too good looking.
Goo!
Wait, is this really happening?
Something definitely snapped just now, but the tension in the room was too thick to care.
Anyway, so that's that. This project is the last we'll do with that company. They'll probably discipline her today. So you won't be receiving any more threats, don't worry.
Yeah. It still didn't feel real, but Yamato's words gradually sank in. I still don't know why she threatened me in the first place. Probably just pure spite. Incidentally, when Director Yamato informed Sayonji about the situation, this is what she reportedly said.
I felt like canceling the contract immediately after seeing how she treated Sakurada during the first meeting. So really, this is refreshing. I'll just go out and get us another contract. Thanks so much, Yamato Manager. Oh, I suppose it's Director Yamato now, isn't it?
Later, she even came by personally and apologized to me. She wasn't at fault in the slightest, such a sincere young lady. Relief washed over me as it finally felt like everything was resolved, and I gently touched the finger I'd injured that day before. While I was relaxing now, that the truth was out.
What were you thinking?
Mita was summoned to a conference room at the HQ, face to face with the company president.
After all the trouble you caused with that client that got you transferred to the branch, now you're sending threats.
Yes, Mita had already been transferred to a branch office to avoid further contact with me. A de facto demotion.
And now we hear they even received letters from you. Let me just ask, was that you too? Yes. Why? There was a link in the reply. I clicked it and got scared, so I switched to letters. Is that so? Then why go out of your way to keep sending them as letters? Because I couldn't forgive him. I mean, it's his fault I got demoted. I was humiliated by someone like him. That guy who once had the nerve to confess to me in high school now has the nerve to get me demoted? I couldn't take it, What are you even saying? Are you really one of our employees? I hired someone like this? I'm so sorry, President. This is entirely due to my failure to guide her properly. No, this goes beyond a matter of guidance. What is this childish behavior? Where's HR in all this? Don't tell me you've hired more like her. As far as I'm aware, the others are decent, but I can't say for certain. We need to conduct a thorough internal audit. Oh, I'm done listening to you.
With a big sigh, the president turned away. Her mind was already on revising her hiring policies.
The disciplinary action has been decided. You're fired. What? That's the result of discussions between HR and upper management. Gather your things and leave the company by the end of today. Oh, wait. You can't just fire me like that, can you? I could sue, you know. You're right. It's not easy. Companies have an obligation to protect their employees. But your actions left us no choice but to fire you. You're free to sue if you want. Go ahead. Mita, as your former supervisor, there's one thing I want to tell you. Overestimating yourself means just that. You don't know your own limits. You do well to understand where you stand. Unless you want to fall even lower by continuing to overestimate yourself.
At the very least, her former boss's words seemed to leave an impact. And with that, Mita was officially dismissed under disciplinary grounds. Following her dismissal, the company immediately filed a police report. Once I was noticed, I also contacted a lawyer and filed criminal charges right away. As a result, Mita was arrested for making threats and obstruction of business, and she was ordered to pay me damages.
I always lived as someone above others. When did I become the one who didn't know my place?
Schools have their own unique caste system, and she was probably at the top. But whether she knew her place even back then is something we need to think about when we talk about status. And naturally, her arrest soon became known to our former classmates. At the recent reunion, people flipped on her in an instant, bad-mouthing her without hesitation. I said this to the group. Changing your opinion so quickly isn't a good look. That attitude is no better than hers. Then they fell silent. With that, I left the room in silence. At last, I felt freed from my old delusional mood-maker self, and a huge stain in my past had finally been wiped clean. I never expected to invite male director Hosho. Rewinding a bit, to when I found out about Mita's dismissal. It was Saturday. I'd been invited to a stylish cafe by director Hosho.
Well, once in a while is fine, right? I wanted to come here with you. But then... Why are you here too, Director Yamato?
Huh? He looked like a different person. But yep, definitely Yamato. This is what he's like off-duty. Sorry, Renya insisted on coming. I told him to wait at home, but...
He does show up at your place basically every weekend. Are you sure you're Yamato? You look like a complete scumbag right now.
That's pretty harsh to say to your boss, but yeah, I figured it works since I am a scumbag.
Wow! He's just owning it.
And yet that same scumbag used to be top manager in sales, and now he's head of the web division.
He really is amazing. Renya's always been good at navigating stuff, but he's also secretly super hardworking.
I can be this way because you're around. Skipping school, getting into fights, crashing at sketchy friends' places. Then I met this guy, wearing a grade school backpack, no less.
Whoa, you're so pretty.
I was running from a guy way out of my league and got my ass kicked. And this kid just stood there, staring at me with stars in his eyes. Like, for a full 3 minutes. Okay, seriously, that's getting annoying.
Sorry. You're just so pretty. I couldn't help it. I love beautiful things and... Wait, you're hurt.
Now you're noticed?
Oh no, we need to treat that. My house is nearby, come on.
What? Hold up. Don't just drag me. Whoa! Kid, you're strong. And that's how I, a high schooler at the time, ended up being dragged to some random kid's house. I still remember the quiet relief I felt when I realized no one else lived there.
Okay, all done.
Hey, why would you patch up some total stranger like me? What if I tried something? It's dangerous, right?
Huh? I guess you're right. I don't normally do this either, but... You're so pretty. It felt like such a waste to just leave you like that.
Huh? It was such a dumb reason. I already knew, whether I like it or not, that I had a decent face. Still, for some reason, those words really stuck with me. Maybe it was because they came from someone so innocent, with no hidden motives. I never cared about looks, but in that moment, I remember thinking I wanted to be someone that this kid could keep calling beautiful. He acts like that moment was some big embarrassing memory. But for me, that moment was everything. It made me want to get away from the bad crowd and become someone decent.
Hey, Renya, you look like you're having fun. What's up? Something funny?
Not really. I was just thinking Shotaro still has a funny looking face.
Hey, you picking a fight? I know, okay, I'm just another average guy blending into the crowd.
If you ask me, you're way more beautiful. But I'm still not ready to say that out loud.
Sakurada, to me, you're more beautiful than anyone.
Huh?
What?
The sudden compliment turned my face bright red.
Your heart, your kindness, there's nothing purer than that.
What's got into you, Director Hosho? Thank you, but are you feeling okay?
Hey, Hosho. Who said you get to woo Shotaro in front of me?
Oh? Do I need your permission to flirt with Sakurada now? I thought you were just a friend.
You've always rubbed me the wrong way. Always cozying up to Shotaro even though you're his boss.
And what about you? You always make sure to look directly into his eyes when you greet him, or sneak glances when he's not looking. I used to think, what a creepy boss, but doesn't matter. I'll win him over eventually. After all, I fell for Sakurada at first sight, and then I fell even harder for his kindness. I'm a woman who loves everything about him.
Bring it on, outside now.
Knowing your place, it's surprisingly hard, and getting it wrong is just embarrassing. That's why I always try not to misread the situation, to avoid delusions. Wait, love at first sight?
No, Sakurada, that's not what I meant.
Hey, Shotaro. You like me better, right? You're always staring at my face after all.
Looks like I've misread the situation again. Go, Director Hosho! Don't give up!
No go, Director Yamato!
What? Traitor!
I'm sorry. But I realized Yamato and Sakurada is too good to resist.
Knowing your place and reading the room, it really is harder than it looks. I've never felt that more than right now.